Words have been an interest of mine ever since I was a child. I can't remember a time when the use of words did not fascinate me. And it's because that's what we communicate with. That's how we speak to each other. Why wouldn't one be interested in words? I went to a school which had a very broad curriculum. And my subjects at Scottish higher level, the sort of equivalent to A-levels in modern times, were 3 science subjects, maths, physics and chemistry, and 3 humanities subjects, English, Latin and Greek. And learning Latin and Greek is a very good grounding for understanding English language. And my interest in words was fostered by studying those languages. And I continued my interest when I started studying medicine, because so much of medical terminology is based in Latin and Greek. And for many years I thought of writing about medical philology, medical words, but was largely put off because I thought that it was rather trivial by comparison with one's scientific career. For many years I thought it would be enjoyable to write about medical terminology, medical words, and there was a man called Bernard Friedman who used to do that in the British Medical Journal, and I greatly admired his articles. When he stopped writing them, I thought that I might take up the gauntlet, but I was somewhat put off by the thought that I felt this was perhaps slightly trivial and that my scientific reputation might suffer as a result. However, when I realized that I didn't have a scientific reputation worth preserving, I decided that it was worth writing about medical words. So after that, I started contributing articles on medical words, mostly to the British Medical Journal, who were very compliant. They published pretty much everything I wrote when I submitted it, pretty much as it was written. I was very lucky they didn't edit them very much, if at all, and they were willing to publish them all as fillers. In those days you could write 600 words. Since then they've contracted the requirements to 400 words because they are more short of space. But I've written probably about 100 of those fillers on various aspects of medical words. I've written a dozen or so for the Quarterly Journal of Medicine, and from time to time I get invitations from other journals to discuss a specific word. I have a large postbag about those things. Nobody ever stops me in the corridor and says, "I did enjoy your article on sodium potassium ATPase in Alzheimer's disease in the Journal of Irreproducible Results." But they do stop me and say, "Great article in the BMJ on the word on," or whatever. So they are very popular, and I get a large postcard bag from doctors who like the articles and ask me questions, which gives me more material to write about. In the last year or so, I've not stopped publishing them in the BMJ. I still do them from time to time, but I now have a weekly blog, which the BMJ hosts very kindly, and I now write a weekly article on some aspects of words. And recently I've spent several of those articles, devoted several of those articles to talking about words connected with the junior hospital doctors' dispute with the Secretary of State for Health. Words such as impose and strike. And that has been very interesting to develop.